This is Erica Manuel reporting from the California Exposition and State Fair Media Center. I'm talking with Norb Bartosik, CEO and General Manager of Cal Expo. Good afternoon, Norb. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on here with the new Kings Arena at Cal Expo?
Well, it's about the development of the fairgrounds property in general, and it's about a redevelopment of the entire property that would include the synergy of a new arena for the Sacramento Kings and Monarchs, as well as a new fairgrounds, and then development of the property that would pay for it all in one big package.
So do the Maloofs have anything to do with this deal, or the Kings?
The arena development proposal and the fairgrounds project are being negotiated with the Cal Expo management team and board, as well as the NBA offices in New York.
So people that think this is a Kings Arena, it may not be a Kings Arena. This is just an agreement or negotiation with the NBA at this point.
Well, the NBA is negotiating on behalf of the Sacramento Kings. At some point in time, all those things will be brought to the table, but at this point, this is the simplest, easiest way to get the job done.
So why did the NBA choose Cal Expo as a location, potential location?
Well, there's three reasons: location, location, location.
Okay, so tell us, if this project happens, how much is it going to cost and who's going to pay for it?
Well, if the project moves forward with the economy in a better shape than we will down the road, we believe that the project could run somewhere between $500 and $600 million. And there'll be a combination of things that will help pay for it, including private money from a development, and then money that will be monetized off the property that will pay for the differences.
So there's a lot of people that think this is a taxpayer project. Do you think that taxes and new taxes are part of the plan?
Absolutely not.
Great. So what's the time frame of this plan? How soon can we expect to see the Kings in a new arena at Cal Expo?
Realistically, you can see a fairground development starting to take shape in about 4 to 5 years.
And then the full build out is?
Well, it's basically a 25-year phased project that will begin in differing phases, but the first phase will be the new fairgrounds and the arena.
So with that in mind, the State Fair is a big part of what happens at Cal Expo. How would this first phase affect the current State Fair and the other events held at Cal Expo?
It'll be seamless. We'll continue to operate until a portion of the new part of the fairgrounds is built and we can move from one side to the other.
So as we talk about development, we talk about all of the ways that this could be funded and paid for and all the elements that'll be in the plan. There's things like the fairgrounds, but there's also offices and hotels and retail and housing. How are you going to handle that, especially economically, given the current market?
Well, I think it's a cautious process that we move forward and through. We have to see the economy turn around. Just the process of finding developers may take somewhere in between 6 months to a year. And once we establish that timeline and know better and see where the economy is at that point, then we can decide how best to move forward with environmental documents and things of that type before the construction can begin.
So realistically, it could be years and the market could be better.
Well, the market has to get better.
So talking about other barriers to development, traffic is a big issue for this potential development plan. What are you going to do to get people here if we do this?
Well, there'll be a variety of consultants that will be brought on board that will work with the state, the city, the county, as well as traffic engineers that will be available from all the private and the public sector. And we'll be able to make those people sit down with us and create something that makes the most sense and put forward a plan that could be then financed down the road.
So as we know from the previous board meetings and a lot of the media coverage, we have a lot of supporters on or around Cal Expo, including chambers of commerce and legislators, and just run the gambit of supporters. Is this a sure thing? Do you think this is going to happen?
Well, it's a concept, and concepts tend to take on lives of their own. We have to make sure that the process that we're putting forward makes the most sense economically, statistically, and as well as physically for the fairgrounds operation and the rest of the property development. So it's going to take lots of time to work through each and every one of those phases.
So if the arena doesn't come here, let's say the plan doesn't work, we can't get it financed, will Cal Expo or the State Fair pursue any other facility improvements to make sure that we get a new facility here in Sacramento?
At this point, there's no plan B, but Cal Expo will continue to operate and be the facility that it needs to be to put on the State Fair and operate. We would then have to look at a different scenario for how we redevelop the property and make other things work.
Are you committed to redeveloping Cal Expo even if this doesn't happen with the arena?
Yes.
Great. So what's the next step in this process? Tell me what's next with the board and the votes and the NBA.
Well, what the board did last Friday on the 27th of February was to vote to move forward to allow staff to develop a request for qualifications process. That will be reported back at the next meeting on March 27th. And at that point, we'll be looking at all of those timelines and things that will work forward. There'll be lots of questions that the board and the public may still want answered. We'll try to have the consultants here to make that work and move through the process to see where we come to at the end of the day and then go from there.
And are you keeping the public informed about every step of the way and how things are going?
Well, we can have only meetings that are public meetings anyway. All of the information is posted on the website, which is calexpo.com. And if people want to have additional questions, all of our email addresses are there, and they can email us at those addresses, and we can try to respond to the best we can.
Great. Well, thank you for your time.
Happy to be a part of it.